We all have a femur. Therefore, we are all at some risk of breaking a leg. Same with the brain. Because we all have a hedonic system, we are all at some risk of becoming addicted.
Some people, though, are more likely than others. The blueprint for their brains, their genes, leaves them more vulnerable to addiction. Genes can create differences in how people respond to drugs. Dr. Mark Schuckett at the University of California at San Diego has found a genetic difference in the way people respond to alcohol. Some people are genetic low responders. It takes more alcohol to get them drunk, so they drink more. Their genes make them more vulnerable. Other people are genetic high responders. Their genes make them less vulnerable. Somewhere between 40 to 60% of the vulnerability to addiction is purely genetic. But genes are not enough. They can get a person to addiction faster, but something in the environment has to turn those genes on.
When it comes to facing environmental challenges, some people have resilient genes. Much the way this rock, because of its chemical composition, is hard rock. The water flowing over it barely dents its shape. But some rock is soft rock. Water shapes it quite easily. Water shapes rock the way the environment shapes our genes. Our experiences, both good and bad, change our brains. Some brains are resilient brains, kind of like hard rock. They can take a lot out of life and not get too bent out of shape. But some brains are more vulnerable. If they were exposed to drugs and alcohol and a rough environment, it might not take much to get them addicted. It might seem like hard rock is always better rock. But if all rock were hard rock, think of what we would miss. We might never know the beauty of rock shaped by water. Likewise, it might seem that it's always better to have a genetically resilient brain. But if a person had the genes for addiction, became addicted and then recovered, well, that person adapted to the problems of life. Nature favors adaptations, sometimes over resilience. A parent with a strong family history of addiction might pass those addiction genes onto their child. But they pass on something else too. They pass on their sobriety. All the work that parent does to secure their sobriety, that benefit goes to their child. And so when their child goes out into the world, they don't go alone. They go with the parent's recovery. Genes are powerful in addiction, yes, but recovery is more powerful.